Hey everyone, I hope you've been doing well. My name is Josh and I'm the owner of Rainier Creations Co., a custom printing company located in the Pacific Northwest. So the purpose of today's video is kind of talk to those individuals just getting started or even interested in starting their own printing business, more specifically a sticker printing business. So without further ado, we'll just go ahead and get right into it. Like I said, this video is aimed at those people who are interested in starting a sticker business and kind of how they can grow their customer base. So before we really get into it, let me apologize. I'm fighting a cold right now, so if I sound a little funny or there's some sniffles in the video, I apologize. I know it's not the most, elegant thing in the world to hear. So I apologize. Anyways, so yeah, let's talk about how we're going to start off with our sticker business. So there's a couple things, if you're just getting started, I think that you need to keep in mind, right? First and foremost is you need to keep in mind how much money you're willing to put into it. So the first thing you really need to do is determine your budget, right? And once you've determined your budget, then you need to start finding the absolute best material that you can buy in that budget. Because if you have poor material and you're trying to sell stickers, for example, and again, that's a pretty saturated market, believe me, I know, you're not going to get anywhere very fast, right? So you have to start figuring out how much you need. Then once you've determined that, maybe figure out what kind of printer you have and or, again, based on your budget, what kind of printer you need to start making stickers, okay? And then from there, once you have that done, and if you already have an idea of software, i.e. your Adobe Illustrators and things like that that you're going to use, and you're already familiar with it, great. If you're not, you need to get some reps in on how to make stickers on Adobe Illustrator. And then once you're comfortable there, you understand Adobe Illustrator, you have a printer you're happy with, and you've bought your vinyl and your laminate to start. Now what you need to do is you're going to want to time how long it takes you to make 100 stickers. Some people might tell you to do 25, some people might say 50, but 100, especially when you're first starting, one, that's a lot of stickers. Two, that's the most common order by far that people want is 100 stickers. So time how long that takes you. Once you know how long that takes you and you kind of see how much spoilage you have because you've made mistakes or whatever, now you can kind of get an idea of what your throughput can be for stickers, right? And you can now kind of determine what you want to be able to offer your customers. Because once you realize that 100 stickers on a Cricut machine, like how long that takes, you might say, hey, my limit is 300 stickers. That's the max I'm making, because that could take you a couple hours, right? So it kind of all depends. But you need to determine those things in order to make sure that you're offering your customer the best product you can and the best service you can as well, okay? So let's just assume you got all of that figured out. You know what you're doing, you have your material, all that stuff. Now you need to start generating some sales. Well, it's really hard to just start making sales. So Etsy is obviously the most common place that people go to start selling. However, I'm sure if many of you are getting ready to start in this business, you've already been on Etsy and you've started looking at just how many people sell stickers on Etsy, right? So why in the world would anybody come to your page to buy stickers, right? Like, it's kind of hard to figure that out. I don't have a ton of Etsy throughput, if I'm being quite honest, but I don't put a lot of effort into it either. So what I highly suggest you do is before you even start an Etsy, or start the Etsy, and that's fine, but you need to start utilizing your friends and family to buy some stickers from you first. Use them, have them leave you some reviews on Etsy and or on Google, whatever it is, okay? But start building a little bit of credibility. And on Etsy specifically, I'm going to say you're probably going to want a minimum of 10 reviews to at least show people that you have some credibility in what you're doing, right? Then from there, once you have those stickers done, the next thing you really want to do is you want to start taking advantage, well, that's a bad way to put it, but you want to start using your community, right? And what do I mean by that? I mean, all of us live in bubbles, right? You have your work circle, if you have kids and you have the school system and the circle of parents and all of that, start advertising with them, letting them know that you do this and that you're more than willing to do it for their kid's birthday or for a school function or for sporting activity, anything like that, right? So you're going to want to try to target that. And I would do that for the foreseeable future. Just kind of continue doing that, hone your craft a little bit, right? Before you start taking on any bigger orders. Now, as you start progressing, then you really should start looking, if you haven't done so already, making that Etsy website, and or if you're making good money, make an actual website, okay? One thing I think is wildly important that needs to be captured during all of this, though, is as you do this, whether you have an Etsy or not, you should have folks leave you Google reviews, okay? I think that's probably the most important thing. So I transitioned to Google reviews probably about 8 months ago, maybe not even. Prior to that, I was using a third-party app in Shopify, and it was great. I had a bunch of reviews on it. I was really happy. However, I was paying for that subscription. Two, it wasn't showing on Google, when people look up, hey, I want some custom stickers, right? There was nothing there like showing that I was credible. So I got rid of that, and unfortunately I lost about 120 reviews on that alone. I have it on an Excel, but I can't put it on Google. So I lost that, which it is what it is. So now I'm building up my Google reviews, because that's where the most credibility is going to come in, because everybody goes to Google, everyone's going to hit, hey, find custom stickers, and then you'll have your ratings next to you. So you really want to make sure that you start capturing that some way, shape, or form. One thing as you start growing that I caution is, as you've used your local community to help build your reputation up and get that word of mouth out, now it's time to start focusing on transitioning away from the community and thinking bigger picture, right? Because that community isn't always going to be there, depending on, like I was saying earlier, if you're, if you have a group of parents or a school system that you're using right now while your kids are there, well, your kids aren't always going to go there, right? So that customer base potentially is just going to disappear as kids age out of that school or whatever. So you want to start thinking about, how can I get customers outside of that? And there's a few ways you could do that. Like I said, one, if you have the Google reviews, that's great. That's just going to give you that credibility. If you started an Etsy and you got at least 10 reviews on there, that's going to help keep you a little bit competitive, right? And then 3, if you start your website, now you can start advertising your business, your business as it is for yourself, without having to worry about Etsy and all this other nonsense on there, right? So to do that, what you really need to start doing is focusing on media campaigns, right? Marketing campaigns. And depends on if you're comfortable being on camera or if you don't want to be on camera. But filming what you do, showing behind the scenes, offering discounts, things like that can go a real long way to help grow your clientele. So one thing that I started doing was I started trying to take advantage of gift cards, right? And the way I'm using those gift cards is, a lot of times if someone's buying a gift card for somebody, I might offer, for the sake of this video, let's just say I offer a $200 gift card. Well, that person might buy that $200 gift card for, let's say, $50, if not cheaper, right? I give them a steep discount on there, which is great. And you might be thinking, whoa, Josh, you're just losing money by doing that. Well, I don't necessarily look at it that way. So if they're buying that gift card for somebody, they're going to say, they're going to leave a little note on my website, and as they fill it out, say, this is for, John Smith, for example. Okay, so cool. So John Smith is now going to come back and he's going to buy some stickers from me. And then that other person I just bought is now on my database as well. So essentially, I just got paid $50 for 2 referrals. I hope that makes sense. And I'm probably not explaining that well enough, but it's just kind of a strategy I've been trying to take advantage of, is that. So there's a lot of money to be made by offering first-time customers a discount, by offering promotions with gift cards, by just offering normal promotions. Personally, where I really just suck, to be quite frank, is I'm not good at offering promotions during holiday seasons. Now, the gift cards I do, that's easy because you got Christmas, you got New Year's, name the holiday, right? You can do 4th of July ones, doesn't matter. But you can make up a holiday for any reason, right? So like a birthday. I know it's not a holiday, but you can say, hey, this is a birthday gift card, or hey, congratulations on opening your own business. Here's a $25 gift card or a $200 gift card or whatever, right? So anyways, I just tried to find a way to exploit that a little bit. So you need to come up with a marketing campaign for your company to figure out how you can grow your clientele. Another way to do that is start taking advantage of the little guys out there. And what do I mean by that? I mean, all these companies, you have your big companies, Sticker Mule, for example, huge company, right? Everybody knows them. They're the first name that pops in people's heads when they want stickers. Well, and they do a good job, for the most part. However, a lot of these little companies in your business area, or excuse me, in your local community, they want to shop local and they don't want to go to Sticker Mule, right? Or they don't want to go to one of these other companies. So start going and talking to those folks and offering them good deals on stickers. Don't necessarily offer them full price every single time. Offer them an introductory rate of something, and that's really going to help start to grow your clientele. And really, the last thing for me that has started to work tremendously well is fostering relationships. So what do I mean by that? I mean, when I talk to somebody, I'm not trying to sell them on like my stickers, for example. I bring up, yeah, sure, I own a printing business, I can do this, this, and that, and I just kind of nurture that relationship. And when time comes, they come to me to buy their stickers, right? And that's a fantastic way to generate more business and to get clients away from your initial client base, right? So think about that and go to events, go talk to people, figure out what they're doing, what their interests are, just have conversations with folks and start taking advantage of those relationships. And again, not in a bad way, but like leverage those relationships and turn those people into clients, which will then turn into referrals because they're going to recommend you to somebody, right? And it kind of snowballs from there. So those are some things that you should really take into consideration when you're trying to grow your clientele base. Now, there's tons of other ways to do it. As I previously mentioned, you can do social media campaigns. You can do YouTube like I'm doing right now. There's a lot of different ways to get after it. And it just depends how much time and energy and effort you really want to put into a marketing campaign, but it is important. So learn how to do, your Instagram ads, your Facebook ads, your Etsy ads, your Google ads, whatever. Determine what that budget is that you're willing to fork up in order to get those ads out there. When I first started doing ads, I wouldn't do more than $75 essentially a month. And the reason for it was if I spent $75 and I didn't get a single sale, then okay, I'm out $75 and that sucks. But if I got 2 sales, that already paid for the ad and it got me a little more exposure than if I just did like $30 a month on Instagram. Granted, 1 sale could pay for it, but 30 is not, doesn't really get you that much. 75 gets you, slightly more. And that was just what I did when I started. And I ended up the first month, I don't think I got a single sale. Second month, I ended up getting, I think, 3 sales. So I made my money back and then some. And now it's pretty consistent when I have ads. I usually get quite a few sales every single month. So just finding out how to do that and find out what your bare minimum price is that you can offer somebody and still turn a profit, right? You can't afford to do that all the time because you have all these other expenses that come up as you're a business owner, but what's the bare minimum you can run a sale at, or you can offer an introductory rate on, and so on. One thing I do want to mention, I totally forgot, when I was talking about those gift cards, an interesting thing to do with them and a technique you really need to do is when you offer these gift cards, you don't want to just have them open-ended. Have an expiration date on them. So when they buy them, for example, the customer has 30, 60, 90, whatever it is, days to use that gift card, right? So that way you're almost forcing their hand to come to you to get your product, right? And then once they get it, make sure that you have a follow-up with them after they've bought and they've received so they can go on Google and leave you a review. Now, does everybody leave you a review? No, absolutely not. But if you send them a reminder like, hey, how do you like your product? Leave us a review. You're going to get that review and start building that credibility up even more. So that's how I've been able to kind of grow my client base over the past couple years. I started off very small, working within my community, friends, family, and coworkers, that kind of stuff. Then scaled out a little bit from that, and then have been kind of trying to scale and scale and scale from there. So it's challenging. It's a very challenging thing. It takes a ton of time and energy. So, if you think you're just gonna kind of do this to make 20 bucks here or there, great, no problem. But if you're trying to turn this into a legitimate business, it does take a lot of time and energy and effort in order to make that happen. So think about that. Think about what avenues you want to explore as far as trying to generate your clients, and I think you'll be successful. So again, this was a short video. I have a cold. I wasn't trying to do this for very long, so I hope some of this information helped. Please leave a comment down below if it did. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, again, leave that comment down below. I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, you guys have a great one. Thanks.